Bruno.
Lisa.
You seem to be like the man of the match tonight.
Man of the match.
You had your own video tonight.
Sorry?
You had your own video.
Yeah.
Big Alpha Parf video all about you.
Yeah.
How's that feel?
It's fantastic.
Yeah?
But it wasn't all about me, it's about the team.
It was about the team, but like you were the only one that got a video. And you were the only one that got a massive big glass plaque.
Yeah, I got a massive.
So you can be a really diplomatic guy if you want, but I'm gonna
I
bring
got
it back.
the big mask, the big plaque, yeah, that weighed a ton. I didn't know I was gonna get. Yeah, that's cool.
And is it a wee bit of a pinch me moment to kind of be in that situation? And
Well, do you know, when you get these things where you're given an award for what you've given back to the industry, that means you're old, Lisa.
oh,
Doesn't it? It definitely means you're
I've not had
old.
one yet, so I'm alright.
Exactly. Yeah, you're most probably half my age.
Is that you asking for my age? Because I feel
No,
like
I know
that's
you're half
diplomatically
my
not
age.
happening.
Definitely.
So so obviously we've just, Gandalf over here, we've worked out that you've been in the industry for 400 years.
Yeah.
What is your biggest top tip then, having done this for generations?
I think biggest top tip for me is have a great mentor. When I was,
Like you, or
well, not like me.
not
but-
everyone can have you, Bruno, okay?
No, but I mean, when you're out there and you're growing, you need a mentor. So you either got to get with a good salon, or I think there are great mentor hairdressers out there. Like I've mentored many people from the Fame team, where they contact me and I've helped them. They don't have to actually work in your salon. You can still mentor other people. If they show me a willingness, then I give them that helping hand. And I think there's mentors out there that do that.
Do you do courses right now through We Love? Do you offer that?
No,
I didn't see
because
your name.
no, I do not, because I've only just joined.
Oh, okay.
So I've literally, Ray called me this year and invited me down here and told me about the Icon Award or Legend Award, what we would call.
Hero, superhero,
So,
legend.
and
who
I
knows?
knew that was going to happen, and all the rest has been extra. And seeing how it's all been working.
And do you think that's something that you're going to then work towards, like maybe putting some CPD hours
I
on there?
think
And
next year I'll be wanting to actually go on that stage and show some stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And get some of your own students up there. And
Yeah.
What would you like your legacy to be?
Do you know, I was asked this question recently, and my legacy, I just want people to think, if I've helped him a little bit, then, that guy, I was grateful for what he did for me. And I don't want my name in lights. That's, for me, like my team, Dan Spiller and Paolo, they're coming up, and they're better than I was at that age. Dan's 40, he's 10 times better when I was 40. Paolo's 25, and he's flying, and he's better than what I was at 25. And I just want, as long as I can do that, and they say, do you know what, that guy really helped us, that's what I want, my legacy. I don't need all the bright lights and stars.
Big glass plaques and capes.
For me, it's always been about my team. It's always about my team. And I've always said, if you want to go quick and fast, you go on your own. You want to have longevity, then you stay with the team. And that's what it's all been about.
If I put you in a salon, and it was a 12-hour shift, right? So it's a long graft. That section over there is blow drying all day. That section over there is cutting all day, and that section over there is foiling all day. What one is
Cutting, definitely.
you want to be in cutting?
All day.
But what? So then, what out of the blow drying or the foiling is the most hated?
Foiling.
So you'd blow dry all day in that heat before you would foil all day?
No problem.
Oh no.
I've been doing foiling for 40 odd years, and balayage is great now because you can have fun, yeah, and you can backcomb and tease and baby lights, whatever. But back-to-back blonde foils, when you've been doing it for 40 odd years, I started off doing highlights with a cap, and it was a crochet hook and a cap. Then we moved on to the plastic bag with sellotape, Then Bright Spark brought out foils, and then I had to learn about all these bleeding and tie stripes. And it was everywhere. It looked like runways going through the scalp. And then you think, oh my God. And back-to-back foils I do them, and I can do them well, but it's tedious. I can't, whereas cutting I love, blow drying, I love, but the back foils for me.
Killer.
I mean, root tints, I do root tints, and I actually charge quadruple the amount in the salon because I don't want to do them. But is
that your sort of technique then for a job you don't like?
Yeah.
I heard that once before.
Charge
If
more.
you don't like the job, charge more. So for me, it would be kids' cuts.
But clients still want you. And I say to them, look, if you want to save money, Lisa or Joe, they can do it, and they're doing it all the time. They're quicker than me. I'll take 40 minutes to do a routine, but I'll do it in 25.
You're sacked.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not wearing a mask salon if you're taking 40 minutes to
Yeah, but then I charge them a ridiculous amount of money. It's crazy.
But you must have magic in your fingertips that make that root tint stick nicer,
Do you know,
be better.
I don't believe, I think hairdressing is a great skill, but it's personality, Lisa. I could come in your neck of the woods and no one would give a shit about me. I'm a no one.
I would.
No, but I mean, it's personality. This industry, 80% of it is personality.
Yeah.
20% of it is hair. I've worked with the top hairdressers in the industry, which concentrate, but they don't do this. They don't do the talk. If you don't do the talk, you're not going to grow. You can be the best hairdresser in the world, but you've got to have the personality.
Yeah.
And I know if it's going to be an hard or an easy ride in my chair, you know as a hairdresser within 1 minute if you're cool or if this person's going to be a twat. You know that straight away.
Sometimes you can get it wrong, can't you?
Yeah, but I think in my experience, most of the time I get it right.
Well, I'm waiting for that technique. Sometimes one will slip through the net with me and this is lands you in a problem. But I think you are right, it is a lot of personality. And like, we're obviously both bubbly and quite loud, and that's not for everyone either. Some people like a silent hairdressing appointment for me would be torture.
Well, yeah, but I think you are a mirror of your own clientele. Like I've got a girl that works for me called Helen, and she's so quiet. Now, her clients are kind of reflect that, and they're quiet. So if she's ever off sick, I would never take her on her clientele because I'd scare them to death. You know, it's horses for courses, and you build your clientele, and you kind of attract, like my clients are a bit like you. They're out there, they speak to me, they challenge me, and because I can give it back. So you're kind of a mirror of your clientele. I always think that.
Yeah, your vibe attracts your tribe.
Yeah,
no, I think that's probably a good thing. Like I say, sometimes one will slip the net, and it's just that's where it goes rogue. Can't always help that, can you? What's the worst client experience you've ever had, like in your whole career? Is there a horror story in your career? Because I think it's really important for people who are coming into the industry or people who are struggling to not always just see the shining lights, to sometimes hear a story where you think, oh God, he's human as well. Or he made a mess of that, or whatever.
I changed colour brands. I've only worked with 3 colour brands, and I changed from one colour brand to another. And I had this client that wanted a kind of a beautiful copper, but she wanted it on a 9 base, quite bright. And I put this copper on, and I was told, you know, you only had to mix so much base of the copper compared to the natural base. And I thought, no, they're not going to be that bright. So I went and doubled it up, and I took off. And my juniors come over to me, and this little guy called Neil in his country said, Bruno, I'm not taking off the towel when I put her in the chair. I said, why not? He said, oh my God, she's orange. I said, no, it can't be. He said, no, she looks like she's been tangoed. And she sat in the chair, and the towel was round her head, so I thought I'd take it off backwards, look backwards. And as I take it off, this orange glare hit me in the chops, and it was bright orange. You couldn't have got, for a show, it would have been amazing, but this is every day, and it was supposed to look like a soft copper blonde, And I've taken it off, and she's looked at it, and she started to laugh, and then she went from laughter, and I'm laughing with her, to tears.
Oh my God.
And it was like, oh my God, and this bright orange, and then I'm thinking, and my colour knowledge back then was not that great, so I'm thinking, oh my God. So I said,
what's on the opposite end of the wheel?
Yeah, and then you start saying, oh, you know, that usual few washes, head and shoulders, it'll work.
Very liquid.
Yeah, exactly, it won't be too bad. And she goes, no, it's too bright, I look right, and it made me laugh again, and I'm trying to be serious. She said, I look like Ronald McDonald. And I was like, oh my God. It's not that bad. She goes, yeah, it is. It needs to go. Ronald McDonald, it's just awful. And I could have easily rectified with the knowledge I know now. But back then, in my early 20s, I never had the colour knowledge. So I'm sticking on like a dark blonde, and I'm trying to go deeper. And it, another 5 hours later, it looks like a now greeny blonde, and it's just looking more trashy. And it's a worse experience.
But it's like a funny thing, because obviously if you were so your face where you're orange, and if someone came to you and said, well, go and pop some blue over the top of it, you'd probably shut yourself as well, because you'd be like, well, what? I'm not adding another vibrant mental colour to this already disaster that I've created. So there's a lot of trust in the process, and then that's what puts a lot of people off changing brands as well, isn't it?
100%. It's that fear factor. It's the knowledge is power, and if you go to another brand without the knowledge, then you're going to panic. And The worst thing is when I've done, because I've had to change over salon groups to a different colour, we've had the full education on the colour for a week before we go use it in the salon. That way, because if you have a couple of colourists that use a couple of mistakes, or they do a couple of mistakes, then all of a sudden no one likes the brand. And it travels through the whole team. Oh, it's rubbish, blah, blah, blah. And that's because you didn't know how to use it correctly. So when I've done colour changes, and we've had to change over 5-6 salons at a time, we've had a week where we've just been with that colour brand house, learning about it, all my colourists, my master colour experts, so that they know. And then we set up a WhatsApp group, everyone exchanges formulas, you know, we all exchange the beautiful ash blondes, so everyone can get information. Knowledge is power, as I always say.
I love that. Where are you with just now?
Joico. I love it. Joico for me is,
I heard that.
it's started off in America, and it's based, the European headquarters is in Helmond, Holland. And I'm their creative ambassador, and it's amazing colour. The longevity, the lasting colour, and it's all about healthy hair. Beautiful shine and gloss.
I was speaking to a colour brand, the owner of a colour brand, and one of the things he said, which has really stuck with me, and I don't use his colour brand, just was interviewing him, is that you as a stylist start to accept the flaws of the colour brand that you work with. So there might be something that, like, I'm not going to name anything in the brand I use, but there are things that I know that won't do what you think. Like if you did that colour in your brand, it would maybe go black. I know for a fact that won't. It'll be grand. It'll show more like, to not name a specific brand, but if I put a 5 on there, it will come up like a 7. It'll be all right. Like I just know. And his thing was like, we make excuses then for the colour brand, because it shouldn't. It should come up like a 5. If you're using a 5, it should, in theory, go like a 5. But we learn it inside out, upside down, back to front to know, no, it won't. It'll be all right, because that's what I wanted to do. So then the fear is when you move to a brand, if you use that technique a lot and then you use their 5 and it's very much a 5, you're slightly in the
but then I always think knowledge and experience as a colourist, because if a client came to me and let's say, for example, she's an 8 and she chooses a 5 or a 4, I would never do that.
No,
I would always, but I would always keep it go lighter than what they expect, because they're saying that, but then if you actually do that, they normally find it's too dark. So I will never go, I say, yep, we'll do that, but I always keep it a shade lighter, so that then they're like, oh yeah, I love that. And yet actually, I've only gone down 2 shades.
That's a really good tip, because I think that is something that scares people about colour correction, isn't it? And then how many times have you had a blonde client that decides they want to be brunette, but they always go back to blonde?
100%.
Blonde is a lifestyle.
Yeah. I've had so many, and they always do it October, November, don't they?
Yeah,
from
dark
blonde
for the winter.
Yeah, I want to go brunette or I want to go copper. They do that, and then, like you say, come New Year, by January, they change it and they want to be blonde again.
And then you're working out how you're colour correcting this without absolutely ripping the condition out of it, and it is a hard. And actually, I think people always say, like, don't be mad at me. I'm like, I'm not, it's your hair. I'll do whatever you want.
We use the Joico 4 steps, so the hair's always in fantastic condition. No problem.
Oh, right, okay, this whole I'll take you from a base 1 to a base 10 overnight and you'll be grand.
Well,
TikTok told me you could, so it
you
must
know,
be true.
I had a client, I don't know if you've seen that guy where he drops the veil and he's got grey blending, and they've got like black and brown on their ends, and they do a grey blending and all the rest
Oh,
of
like
it.
the grown out box style thing, and then they're
so
getting it.
This woman came in and she had like hair to the collarbone, like bob shape, and she had about 6 inches grey, and the rest was like a dark brown. And she came in the salon and she said, I've been to every salon and no one can take this on. I said, I'll take it on for you. I said, I will do that for you. She goes, really? I said, yeah, it's £150 an hour. We'll start at 9 o'clock. We'll possibly go through till 6, but I will have you grey all the way through your hair. The problem you've got is getting that across to the client. They don't want to pay the money. They want to pay £200 and have that whole transformation done. And this is the biggest issue. So a lot of salons will say it's a journey. We need 3 or 4 attempts. They're not going to be happy with that. So I say to them, yeah, I will take you that colour. I can do that, but it's going to take a whole day and it's just me and you. You know, I can't leave you. You've got to have 4 steps along the way. We've got to treat your hair as we're stripping colour out. And I can get you to that grey, but it's going to take me a whole day to do it. Your hair will still be in good condition. It's £150 an hour, and I want 50% paid before we book the appointment.
Interesting, we did an episode with a grey blend specialist expert, and she charges a flat rate of £6,000.
Yeah.
So she'll make anyone grey, and it might take you 5 appointments over, 12-hour appointments. I think she's working with people with really long hair, jet black sometimes. But I mean, the feedback on that episode was like, oh, £6,000. Now she's fully booked. She's got a lot of people that are doing that, but it's a really unique set of people that have got £6,000 spare to literally make their hair grey. Most people don't want the grey.
Well,
you know,
this woman,
it's a lot of money.
And this is what I'm saying about customers, because she came in the shop, she told us no one would do it. We said we would do it, but then her budget was £250. Well, I'm sorry, that's not going to happen. Yeah, it's not going to happen. You pay a plumber just to come to your door, 150 quid call out. So
that's the thing in the industry though, people don't think about the fact that, you know, you're in this seat right now taking up a space of someone. So whatever I do on you, well, if you've gone from booking for a full head of highlights to being like, well, you know, it's fine, just do a quick root tint. Well, I've already lost half my income now.
But you know, I did a business talk recently up north, and I always started with the audience. I said, how many of you are fully booked for a week? Anyway, I went up to a month. How many of you are fully booked for a month? And we went down from 150 to about a dozen. I said, right, don't mind me asking, how long have you been doing hairdressing? 38 years. I said, how much do you charge? £45 for a cut and blow dry. I said, so let's put this in perspective. If you were to charge £20 for each decade, you're on £80. You're charging 45. Then it was thrown at me, yeah, but you're from down south, it's easier. No, you're fully booked for a month in advance. You're too cheap. It's called the waterfall effect. If you charge £15 more, you're going to have gaps, but you'll still take the same money if you lose 10% of your clients. But what I mean by the waterfall is there's more clients who will come in and fill those gaps, but they will pay the new price.
And that's, obviously we work with Maddie Cook, and I've done her calculator, and I totally understand the concept. I think it's the fear. There's a huge element of fear. I know that what you're saying sounds really easy for a lot of people, but it's like...
No, and it is the fear because, and I paid someone to tell me this, and they followed me for a week around the salon, and they said, Bruno, you're always busy. I'm like, yeah, but your staff aren't as busy. Yeah, because I give my clients everything, but why aren't they doing the same? Yeah, so I learned very quickly, education is the key to grow your team as strong as you, because a lot of hairdressers, like the bosses at a salon, will charge the same price as everyone else, where you should be elevated even more. If you're fully booked, if that stylist is fully booked, they have a price increase twice a year, not once a year, because it's supply and demand.
But you've got the chicken and the egg. So if you're the stylist that's fully booked and you're charging the money, then you need the money for the education. Education isn't cheap. I know that obviously We Love It is doing a journey to make it affordable, and I love that.
If you're fully booked all the time for a month or 4 months or whatever, you're going to have burnout and you're going to start cutting corners. You need to step back, do less but charge more. I know that it's kind of hard, and a lot of hairdressers, when I say this, they say, no, it can't be. It can be done. I've proved it can be done. And I run all my salons like that. I've got all my stylists. I watch them every 3 months. I look at them, right, how much they've done, what they're doing, where they're going. Right, you're going, but we put the prices up in November. Yeah, but we're going up again. Because you're fully booked, you're constant. And because I've got tiers in my salon, if Lisa is the top dog and she's snowed under doing all her colour, I've got Tracy, which is £25 less than Lisa. So Tracy will do a similar job. You won't have Lisa's personality. And that's what I'm trying to say here. That buying into your personality. Your skill is one set, but they want Lisa because they love you. And this is where hairdressers do not understand that. They think, oh, it's all about the price. No, they're coming to you. My clients did me knitting for the kiddies' booties when my twins were born, you know. They become a whole family, and it's you they're buying into. But we think, oh no, it's our skill level, and we can't charge this because she's been coming to me for 40 years, and you're running a business, yeah? And although this sounds harsh, your clients are your business and your clients are your future. And if you start discounting everybody, then before you know it, you are walking like a dog for a little less money, but they've been my friends, they've done this. No, I treat my clients as my business.
No, I absolutely agree. I think just from a wider perspective, though, there's a lot of people that would find that too scary to do.
How many hairdressers go to the desk, right? Because I kick off about my retail. They come to the desk and they've got a shampoo and conditioner. They think, oh my gosh, Bruno's not going to get on my case because we've sold the shampoo and conditioner. She's had a full head colour, treatment, everything. We've ticked all the boxes. So then I brought into play, because my retail was tracking at 12 to 14%. I brought in another word, and that was, so Lisa, you've got shampoo and conditioner. Would you like an extra conditioner? Yeah. Now that had a double-edged sword. By us asking that question, it had a double-edged sword because the client said, oh, actually, I ran out of shampoo before conditioner. Others said, oh yeah, because then I can use one at the gym. our retail went up another 5%, just on asking that one question. But because we assumed we've just done a £250 bill, plus the retail on top, so she spent £300, we think that's it. But by having that other question, would you like an extra conditioner? It had a double-edged sword because they bought shampoo and conditioner. So it's not being scared, and people should never judge people. You should never judge a book by its cover.
No.
Never think, oh, they can't afford. People will spend. The biggest spenders, 12 to 18-year-olds, spend on makeup millions for our economy. It's the biggest spending. So,
or their parents for them.
Yeah, but it's massive. So why can't hairdressing be the same? I've preached all my career about we shouldn't undervalue ourselves. It's all about valuing yourself and not being scared. And I'm not scared, but I had someone that taught me not to be scared, because I was that hairdresser that would go to the desk to say to her, that's the bill, and run off. And so many do that. Now I'm like, no, this is the bill. Yeah. I had a broken tooth. I went to the dentist. He did me a new cap and everything. Spent less than an hour with me. Charged me £1,200. You know? Yet I feel what I do, I can make you feel 10 times good about yourself, or I can make you feel really shit about yourself.
With the orange.
Well, yeah. But you can. The power we have.
Yeah.
But I've got to say, and I'll keep repeating it, they come for our personalities. Hairdressers, how many times have you had a hairdresser sat in your chair? I've been going to the same person for 10 years or 5 years or 15 years, but I want to change, but she's really nice. And so many people sit in my chair and they will say, I know it's going to take you 2 or 3 goes to get it right. And I'm like, why? I've been doing hairdressing for 40 years. It's going to be right first time. Oh yeah, but you need to get used to my hair. No, I don't. Do you say to a car guy when you take your car in to a new garage, oh, this is the first time you've done my car, you're going to need a bit of time doing it?
Do you ever get, I actually had a couple of clients recently, we've extended our hours, so we're taking on like new clients, first time ages, and she said, oh, what I'll do is I'll get you the formulation from a previous client, and I was like, you're all right.
Yeah.
I don't want it, need it. I'm okay. Exactly. And I was like, well, you won't know what to do because you don't use the same colour. And I was like, no, I have got eyes. Yeah. So I'll be able to work it out. Yeah. That's not a problem. But yeah, it's funny the different things. I absolutely love your energy though. I think that the world needs more Bruno. Thanks for chatting with me.
Brilliant.